Okay.
Good morning, Michelle Gray at thehealing-art.com. Remember, I used to fumble that all the time. And my lovely boy, Erik. And we're so excited to hopefully bring in Olivia Newton-John. And
Yes.
I just can't wait. I've always thought she was just so freaking sweet.
Oh, yeah. She's got a beautiful energy. Erik says, "Hi, Mama." He says he's been here.
Absolutely.
He's been staying here listening to us and listening to us chat. And Olivia's here. Um,
Hello, Olivia. Can I call you Olivia?
oh, she says yes. She's calling you gorgeous girl. Yes, gorgeous girl. She says yes, you can. Of
Oh,
course
so
you can.
sweet.
Um, she says how what a lovely son that you have.
Oh,
What a pure heart. What just an absolutely pure heart. She says she's just so pleased to be here and so grateful to have this opportunity. Um, she says she's ready to answer questions. She's absolutely glowing. She's
oh. You did in life too.
really, yeah, she looks like what looks like an album cover is the way that I'm seeing her with her hair.
Yeah.
It's like it's got golden light behind her hair. She's in white, and it looks like she's got like a little I don't know if it's a headband or side clips with like little white pearls on it, like just
Oh.
kind of pulling up the sides. Beautiful smile. Beautiful smile.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Well, all these questions, I believe, are from this wonderful man, Dell, who I've known for quite some time, who was obviously one of your biggest fans, if not your
Mhm.
biggest fans. And I've got a lot of questions, so I'm hoping that we can just get right to the point on all of them, or we could do this in two parts. That's fine. I got 38 questions, and they're all good. All right. The
Oh,
first
she's
is
okay.
people always refer to you as the sweetest and kindest person on earth. Did this make it hard to be taken seriously in your career or on your humanitarian efforts?
Well, she says, she says the thing is I was never afraid to talk about the fact that, I was a human too, and I made mistakes. I had my bad days, but I also did my very best to live my life with that glass half full attitude. And that was very important to me and to a lot of the projects and things that I worked on, including my own healing in my own life.
Right.
So I would consider that was more of a leg up than a detriment.
Okay, awesome. By the way, do you and Dell have some sort of connection? And why is he just seems to be so connected to you, or is he just a fan?
Well, she says, of course we do. And she says, there are many people that are listening to this right now that have had visits by me, that have connected with me in dream state, that have said, oh, well, why would she be connecting with me? Well, she says, I've had a lot of fun being able to come around and connect with many souls that I have shared
Okay.
lifetimes with. Mhm.
Oh, awesome. All right. Now, his next question: your ex-boyfriend of 9 years before you met your husband, Patrick McDermott, did he really disappear and start a new life, or did he really cross over? Patrick McDermott.
Well, he is in spirit right now. I can feel him not far behind her. She's connected with him. But what she's saying is that he did not cross at the time that
Of his
everyone thought he did. So
disappearance.
she
Oh, have
says
you? Go ahead.
she just says that there was, she says, let's just say there was it was a disappearance and there was some purposeful
Okay.
to it.
Okay. Um, did you really love him, or were you grateful when he was no longer in your life?
Um, she says, of course I loved him. It was painful.
Yeah.
It was hard on my heart, as you could imagine.
Yeah.
But she says, the wondering and having some feelings to what may have happened, sat in the back of my mind for a long time. But
Yeah.
I learned to work through it.
Okay. Have you met him? Spoken to him?
Yes. Yes, and
Okay.
I've had the understanding of the past life, that there were some
Oh.
karmic energies in this life. So
Oh, okay.
I understand now
Mm,
how some of that and why some of that played out the way that it did.
I understand. Did you and John Travolta hit it off when you met, or was it a challenge? And do you regret not being more than friends?
Well, John is an absolutely lovely soul.
Yeah.
Um, it was very apparent first upon meeting him that there was we'll call it a lovely chemistry or a tension that was between us. He made me feel very comfortable. He was very convincing in letting me know that I was in the right place, doing the right thing. So, do I regret that there was um, nothing further? No, I don't. I
Okay.
feel like the relationship that we had in this lifetime was exactly as it needed to be.
All right. Have you talked to his deceased wife and your friend Kelly Preston?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you believe that if you focus on trying to figure out your life purpose, that you are actually not looking deep enough into yourself to find the answers that are there already? Interesting question.
Say
So
that again.
I know it's a little bit complicated. Do you
Uh,
believe that if you focus on trying to figure out your life purpose, that you are actually not looking deep enough into yourself to find the answers that are already there? I don't know if I understand it. If you want to skip it, we can.
Well, what she's answering. So what
Okay.
she's saying is, she goes, on the contrary, really, your life purpose is built together of many different things.
Yeah.
And so, by focusing so hard on trying to figure out your life purpose, you find that that ends up becoming your purpose, and it will start to steer you in directions that some might refer to as feeling blocked and feeling stuck. And so, the very best way to be able to ride that path and understand what your purposes are, because there
Mhm.
are many,
Yeah.
is to um, be more in the energy of a surrender, more of an organic path. And that comes from being where you are, enjoying your life where it
Right.
is, and allowing things to flow in and let your heart gravitate towards it.
Okay. What was your life purpose, do you think? Or one of them?
Well, um, there are several. There is a collective purpose that was definitely in service, healing through the music
Yeah.
that I shared. She's showing me the throat chakra as
Oh,
being very active, connected in her life purpose.
yeah.
She also says philanthropy, um, sharing the benefits of medicine, of plant medicine.
Mm,
Also, she says seeing oneness in everything,
yeah.
seeing oneness in everyone.
Yeah.
Connection, she says, networking and connection.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Who were the first people you've met since you crossed over? And, maybe talk a little bit about that.
She shows me the very first thing in crossing over. She shows me walking through what looks like a very warm water. It's got a little bit of steam rising from it.
Mm,
It's like she's walking through this water, and I'm just asking her if that's cleansing, and she says it is. It's
mm.
cleansing and it's peaceful. And what I see running towards her are many dogs, um,
Oh,
cats, dogs, horses, a lot of animals. She
oh,
says that the animals came to her first. She also shows me a young girl. Um, I would say maybe 4 years old,
okay.
4.5 years old. So this is somebody that was in their family.
Okay.
Um, don't think it's her. She's not saying it's like it's not her child.
That's okay.
Um,
You don't have
but
to.
it's a child in the family or
Okay.
a child that she was connected to.
Okay.
There's also she's got we're on the same level, so she's got siblings.
Okay.
Um and parent,
Okay.
parental connection.
Okay.
Um, and she's also showing me Regis.
Oh,
Regis.
really?
Mhm.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. Okay. All right. Now this is from Dell. My personal favorite songs of yours are Xanadu and Hopelessly Devoted to You. What was your favorite song to perform?
Oh, she says, really, there are so many. Um, she really enjoyed Magic.
Oh,
She said that there was
yeah.
a connection. It was inspirational at many different stages in her life.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Do you believe if you are thankful for what you have every day, that the universe will provide you with gifts rather than always have you thinking about the future?
She says, "Yes, I do. Um, there is great power in gratitude and on where you
Mm,
choose to focus your mind, and it does take practice to be able to do that.
yeah,
But when you allow yourself and you give yourself the opportunity and you try, you really put your focus into seeing the things in your life that are present and with you right now, it starts to become very apparent to you over a period of time that abundance, gifts in life come in so many different forms,
yeah.
and they are so much more fulfilling than anything monetary or anything
Material.
that can be tangibly held. And
Yeah.
so, yes, I firmly believe that gratitude is one of our best spiritual practices, our best life practices that anybody can do.
All right. Was going through your health crisis and ultimately your untimely death part of your greater purpose? And what was it?
Yes. Um, she says that her her cancer diagnosis um was and she's okay, so she says her first cancer diagnosis was a catalyst. And she says it came
Oh,
on the heels of some other personal strain. She's saying the death of a parent.
oh, yeah.
Her okay, non father, your father.
Okay.
And so what she's saying is we could equate this to what somebody would call a near death experience.
Mm,
This was my facing mortality.
yeah.
I faced it in losing my father in his passing, as well as then looking to face my own mortality. And more for me, because I had a voice, because that throat chakra, she says,
Yeah.
that the power was always in my voice to be able to share.
Mm,
But the biggest challenge that I had was to be able to share with my own child,
mm,
because I was far more concerned about her fears and her concerns
yeah.
than I was about mine. But um, that was a very big part of my life purpose because it led to so many different things. And
Mm,
it also evolved and changed over the course of my life, even as it metastasized, going into remission and metastasizing. Um, I had a voice and I also was able to surpass the word cancer
yeah.
and become not a survivor, and not an escaping death, but living and showing people what living truly is, because we're all going to transition to the next stage
Yeah.
of life.
That's
Every
true.
single one of us is. I just had maybe a little bit of a heads up on how that may go. And really, some may say that that's untimely, and my physical heart, my physical self, for the sake of my husband and my child, uh yes, I would like to stay there forever in and hold them and protect them. But
Yeah.
I also now know from this side of things that I'm able to do that and more.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. You are one of my favorite singers, and I'm always watching your music on YouTube. Do you come around the person and guide them when they are a super fan? Well, you kind of answered that and focus on your music. Yeah, you already said. Okay.
I certainly do.
Okay. Now we have some questions from the CE community. You were a very spiritual person. Was your transition easy to go to your higher state? Are you still finding your way on the other side?
I would say it was easy.
Okay.
We're always finding our way, uh, even over here. I am in a state of rest right now, although
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, there's parts of me that is busy and enjoys being with everyone, but I also am enjoying rest and bliss. And she's just showing me that water, the
Oh,
water that she walked through.
yeah.
She's calling it the healing rivers.
Okay.
And she's saying that many of us will go to that river and bathe in the warmth. And she says
Mm.
it's like bathing in love and releasing some of the layers of
Yeah.
our human life. And so she says she's been through that now. And so now she's resting. She says, think of it as being in the most beautiful field with nature, the
Oh.
hummingbirds,
Mm.
just being in this absolute space of bliss and knowing that everything is perfectly okay.
Wow. Sounds beautiful. Um, what did you feel after passing over? I think you covered that. And we talked about who greeted you, and a lot of your family's in heaven. So I guess that was a very joyous homecoming, right?
Yes.
Okay. What age do you feel now in spirit form? Mm. I'm going to mute until they shut up.
Well, that's an interesting question because I really have to say that I enjoyed many different stages of my life. Um, Today, just to say, she's showing up to look like her 40s, late 30s, 40s. And she's saying that that was a very strong, like stepping into a lot of strength in her life.
Mm, okay. Real quick, and I'm mute again. What can you describe another life that most influenced your one is Olivia?
So she's showing me England, um, 15, mid 15th century. She's saying she's a woman. She's saying that her husband came from the sea. They had nothing. There was illness. The two of them were sick. She's saying like there was some sort of plague. There was a lot of illness. There's one child. They've got no money. She's saying like a beggar, like being on the street. Um, we were given bread and water. And she's showing like a some kind of like little cart coming around, and they get bread and water.
Oh,
She says that in this lifetime, her child had passed. She says due to illness, the environment that they were in. She says that there was a lot of disease
mm,
on the streets. She says that her husband had left, crossed.
mm.
She's saying that this is the relationship. She's saying the abandonment in that relationship, and she's
Oh,
correlating
McDermott,
it.
the ex-boyfriend.
Yes, she
Okay.
says yes. And so she's saying that the lesson or the correlation has to do with abundance, being able to create, being able to um, change your circumstances with the power of your mind,
Yeah.
with your own ability, because in that lifetime, um, there were some very heavy circumstances, and she was not able to come out from underneath of it, didn't understand how. And so in this lifetime, she started out with, she says, there was a climb. There were things that I did have to climb through, but she was able to keep grabbing onto the next rope, so to speak, to keep pulling herself forward and create a life that was truly beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. What was the first thing you wanted to do or did after you finally got oriented on your on? the other side?
She says, "Put my feet up."
Oh, I bet. Oh, okay. Do you plan to do some work after you go through your rest period?
I do. I plan on spending some time with family. I've got different family members that I will be guiding, that I will be assisting, and they know this. They feel this.
Hmm.
My daughter. There'll be different projects that I have not left, but I am merely supporting from a different angle.
Okay, awesome. Olivia, you rose to international fame largely as a country music singer and then turned Hollywood actor for Grease and Xanadu before taking on the exercise energy with physical in the 1980s, then Gaia and your spiritual environmental music. You obviously had a lot of variety and fun. What prompted the changes from one decade to the next? And which one of those eras was your favorite?
Well, they all gave me so much. I learned so much in each one. I took something with me. It was really a path, really a love note or a journal to my own spiritual journey, and to watch the transition of my own life, the changes, the lessons that I experienced. And you'll see how things started to transition with the introduction of Gaia and my greater understanding of the fact that we are guardians to this earth
Hmm.
and the importance that we have as human beings in that role. And so really, is there a favorite part there? Um I can't really say that there is, because each one of those stages and albums gave something very important that led to the next.
Okay. What healing modalities did you discover through your self-owned retreat Gaia in Australia? And what is your spiritual connection with your nephew and renowned healer Charlie? Well, we can start with that's two questions. So, what healing modalities did you discover through your self-owned retreat Gaia in Australia?
The power of meditation, moving energy, the power of the mind, the body, the spirit. She's showing me like energy healing, like moving energy.
Mm,
Um, she's not saying Reiki, but she's giving me that type of movement, like sweeping of
okay.
energy. And she keeps coming back to the mind, like positivity, power of the
Okay.
mind, environment, clean food, clean eating.
Yeah, we have the power to heal ourselves. Most definitely.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. What is your spiritual connection with your nephew and renowned healer Charlie? Is there a connection there?
Well, of course, of course. And she says that we all do share a common, she's saying a soul family. She says that her entire family is all from the same, um, she's calling it like a group of healers. She says, although we may have all taken different routes in how that was expressed, but whether we came forward as um, entertainers, as doctors, as energy healers, philanthropist, medicine man. It didn't matter which thing that we did on Earth. We were all bringing forward an energy, and she keeps circling like the stars, like the higher self, like a higher soul family that
Okay.
they're all
Interesting.
part of.
That
She
makes
says
sense.
Charlie
Because
is
this
part of that too.
one question, you descended from a long line of eminent academics. Your brother was a medical doctor, healer. Yeah, you and your sister Rona went into showbiz. Rona was married to Olivia's Grease co-star Jeff Conaway. So did you? So that makes sense. The whole healers. But did you ever consider a career in academia?
She says that she entertained it briefly, but that just wasn't in her heart.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, Olivia, your mother's family were German Jews who fled the Nazi regime to the UK in the 1930s. Did I know that? Your father, an M15 officer, later took Rudolf Hess into custody during World War II. These are extraordinary personal events for your family. Did it shape you in any way?
Looking from this perspective, yes. Um, our group, our family, um, we have come in as leaders, not as any different than any one of you, because we all do come in with a purpose, or say a leadership in one way or another. But that in particular was not something that was something that I knew, that I understood. I'm very proud of my family. I'm very proud of the history of my family, but I didn't understand the power behind it. Um, More of an energetic. And what she's showing me as she's speaking, she's giving me a lot of visuals to. Um, she's showing me cups, like pouring a little of this and a little of this and a little of this, and her family. There was a lot of uh, it's like some families are big into political movement, and some families are, say, like the Queen and all of their. Her family was very much into leadership, philanthropy, growth,
Mm,
healing.
okay. What led uh, to two siblings in the family, you and Rona, to becoming entertainers with links both professionally and romantically in the United States? Was there a past life connection involved for you two?
She's saying that there is a past life connected to the California area.
Oh, okay.
Um, she's saying like
Okay.
South America. So there was a draw to that area. But she says
You mean Southern
real
US or South America, South America?
southern US,
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, got
southern
it.
US.
Okay.
Um,
Mm,
she's what she's saying is more than it was about the location. It's more about the souls, the
okay.
connection to the souls.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's where they were.
Okay. All right, Olivia, you paved the way for Australians in the United States. We were always so immensely proud of you, of course. How did you feel about being that trailblazer? Were you scared sometimes? So you paved the way for Australians in the United States. Didn't know that.
Well, I sometimes would look, say, at a photo of myself, or hear somebody speaking, and I'd say, "Who are you talking about? What is who is this girl? What are you talking about?" I didn't really see it that way, and I'm very honored that that's how it's viewed, and it's very honorable. I've been given great privilege, and I appreciate that. But I certainly, of course, I've had moments of being scared,
Yeah.
and of course, when all eyes are on you, and you're careful with the moves that you make and the things that you say and do. Um, but a lot of the times, I would feel like I was two people.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Well, I've been there. I understand exactly what that feels like. Okay, now you of course were an environmentalist. What is the message from Mother Earth? What does she want us to know? What do you want us to know?
Well, she is so giving and loving and beautiful, and provides absolutely everything to all of us that we need,
Yeah.
everything that we need to heal and to sustain a beautiful, healthy, and positive life. And she will be fine. She will always be here and always be just fine. We really are the guides and the ambassadors for humanity,
Yeah.
and keeping humanity together on earth. And really coming together in oneness to help band together with our human selves, in helping take care of her. If we destroy her or anything happens to her, she'll rejuvenate.
Yeah, but we'll be gone.
Humanity will be gone. That's
That's
right.
right. Are there any specific warnings?
She says one thing that she would recommend is, what's your environmental footprint
Yeah.
for each one of you? You know, what type of footprint do you put in your day? Where can you look responsibly in your
Yeah.
life to reduce, to make changes? What are you putting out into the environment? Are you being conscious of taking care of what's your responsibility today so that the generations of our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren have a beautiful space to live in?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about these uh, green activists that fly around in their private jets, spewing out more carbon in one flight than is spewed out in Denver in one day?
Well, when you're standing out and putting an example before the world, it's very important that who you're watching to lead that example is also living that example.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing your beautiful voice with the world. You fought cancer for 30 years. What lessons were to be learned from such a long and difficult battle?
Well, yeah, it's perseverance of the human soul. We all have our adversity. We come into this world with, different things that we go through within our family or different types of suffering. And this was my challenge. This was, an opportunity for me to understand, um, how did this happen to me? What can I do about it? Where am I going forward? The choice of should I sit in it and let it take over my life, or do I become proactive with the knowledge, with the ability to research and not only help myself and be an example, but to truly be able to spread that message to others, because that really is what's done healing for my soul.
Mm,
And was it always easy? No. And I, of course,
okay.
she she just showed me
Oh, sweetie.
my own life,
Yeah.
and she said you share it not because not because you continue to bring it up as if it was, look at me, look at this hard thing that I went through,
No, of course not.
but you share it so you can continuously show people that they can get through these things too
Yeah,
and come out on the other side.
that's right. Oh, well, let's just do a couple more questions then I think.
No, that was just, she gave me a very beautiful image, so it's
Oh,
not tears of sadness, it's just
yeah.
very overwhelmingly
Oh,
good.
sure. Now I'm crying for you. Okay. Olivia did so much for breast cancer awareness here in Australia. We have designated Olivia Newton-John Breast Cancer Center at the Austin Hospital here in Melbourne. Was it part of your sole contract to do all of that breast awareness work, breast cancer awareness?
She says, in a nutshell, yes. She says that, think of it as, there's these forks in the road that we have in our contracts, in our blueprint,
Yeah,
and these forks in the road gives us opportunity, and she shows it like, there's stoplights and we make choices and these choices have big impacts.
yeah,
So she says that she's come up to many of these intersections and chose to make big impact with it. So the quick answer is yes.
Okay. How did your use of cannabis help you with your challenges with cancer?
Oh, she says, very, very helpful. Um, she says it helped a great deal with pain.
Yeah.
And she says it really helped her to get into because she says there she had anxiety. She had some challenges with she says to her mind. She says
Yeah.
human, my mind could trail off to places that weren't always the best. But it gave me my life back.
Oh,
She says that it has she says the earth, the plant medicine, the earth provides everything that we need. It heals so many different things. It helps so many different things. And
yeah.
she says we're really just at the tip of understanding that. And so she says it gave her a lot of comfort. It also helped her enjoy more of her life longer, to be more
Oh, that's
active
good.
in her life.
All right. When will there be, in your opinion, from your new perspective, a cure for breast cancer?
Well, she says really a specific time. She goes, rather than look at it that way, Um, she says there are many changes that are occurring with medicine overall, many types of cancers. She says in the next 15 years, we're going to see some major shifts with medicine and treatment.
Okay.
And that's going to give us the opportunity to change the way that we deal with how we consider cancer.
Okay. Um, do you think that low dose naltrexone would have helped with your cancer?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think the meaning of the end of Greece was for girls? Run with a more risque crowd, assert your own beauty and sexuality, rebel against oppression, all of the above, or what?
Oh, it's a little bit of all of the above because, at the time that that movie was being made, it was a different era. It was
Yeah,
a different way of being. But the ending of that movie was really, in the way that I like to see it,
I loved
is
it.
it was stepping into empowerment. It was the element of surprise. It was
Yeah,
uh, showing that other side that I am not just one way, I am this too. And she says, and so if we put a spiritual perspective onto it, yeah, we could look at it as a that that male and feminine, the female male side. We have
yeah,
this soft, sweet side, and we've got this tough, don't mess with me
yeah.
side.
Right, right. It's awesome. All right, two more. Are you annoyed that Landslide wasn't a worldwide smash?
No, everything has its purpose.
Yeah, okay. Last one. What genre of music did you, and we'll do a part two. What genre of music did you like seeing the best?
She's saying that she really enjoyed, she says like, kind of like a, what do we call it here? Um, she's saying like with the spiritual essence. So this would
Okay.
be a bit more into her later music. She's also saying, her daughter, um, singing with her daughter.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, she's giving a lot of love to that too, as she's saying more
Oh,
more than the sound of music than to the harmonizing of two hearts, vocal
oh,
cords.
that's nice.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we've got still a whole bunch of questions, so we'll just do a part two. Anything else you wanted to say before closing, Olivia? And would you be willing to come back for round two?
Oh, she says, "Yes." She goes, "Yes."
Oh,
She goes,
good.
"This is
Thank you.
fun. This is fun."
Thank you so much. Keep my boy in check. And it was an honor to talk to you. I love you, Eric. I love you, Michelle. Go take care of yourself.
Yeah,
And
we
again,
love
you
you
guys
too.
check her out at She's an awesome healer also, Michelle is. So the healing-art.com. All right.
Okay.
I love you
We
all.
love you. Eric says, "Love you, mom."
Y'all be
Bye,
sure you
everybody.
subscribe or you don't want to miss that or and hit the notification bell. And also share this with your known, and there got to be many of them, Olivia Newton-John fan friends. All right. Love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.